The processed food corporations take advantage of your ignorance and insecurities around cooking. I don't have a problem with the occasional, frozen pizza, particularly when they're buy one get one at a good price. But nowhere is my point more proven than in the frozen food section with this product called Chicken Voila. Okay, check out this 60-ounce um, family size portion of the Chicken Voila Alfredo chicken. It is $11.77 here in a Walmart. We can do this so much better. And at the end, I'll show you how much better it is in multiple ways. So the components are vegetables. I'm going to pick up 2 packs of vegetables. It was unclear to me how much the California style veg mix was. The price wasn't there. So I got 2 of the 12-ounce bags. At 98 cents each, I got 2 16-ounce or 1-pound boxes of penne pasta, Walmart brand, and $1.18 for the Badia nutmeg nuts. Okay, as you can see, the vegetable mix came up to $1.16 each bag. Okay, our next step, now that we have a couple of ingredients, we're going to hit our local Wawa. Every Tuesday, they have free coffee, any size. So we are going to go for the 24-ounce. And even though all that we need here is 16 ounces of cream, we're going to go for the 24 ounces because we're going to fill it entirely with the heavy cream rather than coffee that they have at the coffee station. We'll just use 2/3 of it. I also would like you to take about 30 packets of the grated Parmesan cheese. I also took, which I didn't show there next to it, 4 packs of the crushed red pepper flakes. I can't just eat plain old Alfredo. It's too bland, but that's optional. All right, I just got home. We're gonna salt our water. Now this, I didn't show this, but Sam's Club was right next door, and I went in there and I got one of their $4.98 rotisserie chickens. They completely shredded all of the chicken. We're only going to make a half recipe of this today, even though I bought the ingredients for a full recipe. I'm going to make a half recipe, which is going to be just slightly more than that 60 what was it, 60 ounce, the bag of the family size that we saw at Walmart. So we're going to make the same amount that you saw at Walmart and have enough to make it again. So this is half of my chicken, my rotisserie chicken, which has been cut up and shredded. You don't even need to bring a cutting board out if you don't want to. Just bring 2 the food safety gloves that are like $1 for a big pack at Walmart. Just take out 2 gloves and just shred the chicken. All right, while my water started to boil, I just took the packets of the Parmesan and I started to open them up. This is 30 packets, actually it's 32. And then I also have 4 packets there of the crushed red pepper flakes. I have 1 stick of Walmart butter. I have some minced garlic. You could totally just mince up your own garlic. And I have my coffee cup that doesn't have coffee. It has cream in it, ready to go. All right, so on a very low heat, and I mean really low heat, I'm going to start melting my entire stick of butter. Remember that butter has milk solids in it that can burn really easily. So go low heat on that. I've started now to boil my pasta, the entire box. I'm going to use 1 bag of the vegetables. I am going to make an entire recipe, not a half recipe, the entire recipe of the sauce, because that I can store away later. Okay, so this is an entire recipe for the sauce. Now I put in a huge heaping teaspoon of garlic. That's not really super traditional in Alfredo sauce, but honestly, Alfredo itself is not really traditional. You won't really see it in Italy being eaten by Italians. So make it the way that you like it. I like it with a good punch of garlic. So again, we're on really low heat. not just butter, garlic is also something that can burn really easily. When it does, it turns bitter, and then the whole dish is ruined. So you probably wouldn't have to use much salt here, just so that you know, like go careful on the salt, because the Parmesan cheese does have a lot of salt in it too. All right, now we're adding 2/3 of the cup of the cream. We're going to save the other final 1/3 of a cup of cream for whatever you may want to use it for. There's many uses for heavy cream in the kitchen. I make ice cream. You might want it for your own coffee. It's great to add to scrambled eggs to make them a little bit richer. So go ahead and take the full 24-ounce cup. All right, there's half of our shredded chicken from the rotisserie going into another pot to saute. Go light on the salt. But every layer does need to be salted. All right, there's our packet of vegetables. Now we do have vegetables, and it's great that the chicken voila does have vegetables, but you know the number one ingredient that they list there is vegetables. So I'd like to see it, and then after that it's pasta. So it's like you're paying a lot for frozen vegetables. We're gonna get a much higher percentage of meat in here. Okay, now I have removed my heavy cream butter garlic mix off of the heat. It's very important that it's off of the heat at this point when we add our crushed red pepper flakes, our nutmeg. As you can see, I only use like a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, grated nutmeg, and our Parmesan cheese. It has to be off of the heat because the high fat percentage here in this Alfredo sauce, the heat can cause it to split. So just stir that up. It's going to thicken as it cools. Very light dusting of salt here on every layer. Okay, so we have, these are deep bowl shaped plates. So they're huge servings. I got 5 total huge servings of total pasta, plus vegetables, plus chicken. Our ratio of chicken is much higher than the store brand. Our sauce, we allowed it to cool a little bit to thicken. And I also added like a few tablespoons as necessary of the used pasta water to kind of thin out the Alfredo sauce. So our total costs, and I did the math on this, each penne pasta box 98 cents, each bag of vegetables $1.16, $4.98 for the chicken. I mean, I counted, it's about 96 cents for a stick of butter. I counted everything. I counted the garlic. Again, as I said, our free Wawa on Tuesdays coffee. If you have any questions about that, let me know. Anytime that there is a war for customers in your area, for among the gas stations, they're often going to have a day where they have some kind of giveaway. In our area, Wawa gives away free coffee on Tuesdays. So I definitely take advantage of that. And I go in and I fill up the cup with heavy cream, like I said. So I didn't pay for that. I didn't pay for the Parmesan cheese. I didn't pay for the red pepper flakes. And I got $1.18 of nutmeg. I used not even 5% of the nutmeg. And so in total, I spent $11.72. I got 5 huge, big portions out of that. If you had not so hungry people or young people like small children, you'd probably easily get 6 portions out of that. And that was only a half recipe. I still have enough ingredients to make that again. I still have half of my chicken remaining. I still have an entire box of penne pasta. I still have another bag of frozen vegetables. So I will easily make this again. And I have enough nutmeg to take me well into Christmas. Lots of dishes use nutmeg. More importantly, though, I'm satisfied with the sauce. If you've ever eaten that chicken Wawa, chicken Alfredo, The sauce is really thin and kind of bland and flavorless. This was a very cheesy, very rich sauce, delicious, and we got a much higher percentage of chicken. If you look at the ingredients on the chicken voila for the Alfredo, the first ingredient is vegetables, and then the second one is the penne pasta. And while I do like the idea of vegetables, that's a lot of money to pay um, for something that doesn't really have a lot of meat. It's like a cheaper ingredient of the frozen vegetables. So we got something that tasted better. We got something that had a higher protein content in the form of more chicken in it. And we got double the portions. And we spent like 20 cents less for all of that. So it's crazy that the chicken voila is marketed as a convenience product when they tell you to heat it up in the skillet. Um, if you buy a frozen pizza, that is, I would argue that is a convenience product because you can put it in the oven and you can walk away, just set a timer. If you put something in the skillet, however, you really can't walk away from it. And since on their packaging they say ready in 15 minutes exclamation point. I would say that 15 minutes of hands-on in the kitchen is not really a convenience food. We spent about 17 minutes of hands-on work in the kitchen to make this, and we got something much better. So, I saw this video that went viral of a man saying, it was an English guy, and he was saying, "I'm not going to let a woman come into my yard and take my resources." And I thought it was so funny because he was sitting on the floor next to his bed, and I assume what was his bedroom, and it was a bare mattress. There were no sheets on this bed. This room looked so barren, and my thought was, what resources do you have to take? You don't have any resources. And there are so many people who are afraid of being taken advantage of in a romantic context. Meanwhile, their total inability to cook and their ignorance and their insecurities about basic cooking cause them to spend 2 to 5 times more easily on their food budget than they need to spend. That's where their money is being hemorrhaged. That's the hole in the boat financially. For people like that, if they did know how to cook at home and more of their meals were made at home, my way, maybe going out on a date with a young lady, spending $40 or $50 on a date wouldn't feel so abusive. But because the money is so tight, just trying to survive on these convenience and drive-through foods, it feels like, oh, you're trying to take advantage of me. If anybody is trying to take advantage of you, it's these processed food corporations, it's these fancy gas stations that are taking over. So, try to take advantage of them. What do you think of my fuck the corporations version of chicken voila? Let me know.